Hey everybody, ronarray here. 0.5 is pretty close, and as you probably know, I'm league starting it as a Martial Artist Monk. At the moment, this new Ascendancy looks absolutely amazing, and I'm sure there's a great potential to make a very strong all-rounder build out of it. So in this video, I wanted to showcase some techniques that we will be able to use while leveling to boost our DPS significantly and take some of those into endgame as well. Plus, talk a little more about Ascendancy nodes and an order that will be best to pick them. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you appreciate such tech breakdowns, and check out my written guide in the description too. There's all information that you might need to level your own monk. Let's go! So if you will just follow the basic leveling progression that I have set up in the guide, you will be able to swap to Hollow Palm technique and monk skills around level 23. A little further in your 20s, you also will get your first Ascendancy and first Ascendancy passive node too. Which leads us to a question, what it should be. A lot of people would probably go for Way of the Stone Fist just to get significantly better gloves, but at the moment I believe that Way of the Stone Fist should be your second pick and not the first, and the first one should be Hollow Focus instead. At the moment I believe that Hollow Focus can literally fix a very big issue for early leveling, which is charge generation. So what is Hollow Focus? It's going to constantly create bells around you. Those bells are primed for stun. They can also be called immediately, and hits against them are always critical hits. I think that's a pretty big deal at the moment, so we will be able to combine it with a very simple skill, which is Killing Palm. Killing Palm will give you one power charge at least when you're killing your bell. It will help us with generating charges on bosses, it will help us with generating charges when we're fighting monsters too. The only thing is that you will need to target the bell with a Killing Palm. So for example, if the bell is appearing here, you need to get your mouse somewhere around here and click the Killing Palm at the moment. But what kind of buffs we can use with the Killing Palm and how we can utilize our charges? First off, early in campaign you will get an opportunity to use a Fallen Thunder, and I think it's one of the best possible ways to use early power charges. We will be able to use Fallen Thunder for clear if you like, we also will be able to use it to deal pretty decent boss damage. But it's definitely not the end of it. Since bells are going to appear all the time, we can just keep hitting them with Killing Palm and getting variety of bonuses. Since we have our power charges with those bells almost all the time, we can also use a pretty cool thing called Rend. At the moment, Rend is just the ability you can use from the second weapon set right here when you just transform him into Wyvern. You will need to put any talisman in your second weapon set and lock it into Wyvern, so you will get Rend. Buffing it with prolonged duration, we are going to get a consistent 50% of damage gained as lightning, which is absolutely huge for campaign. Buff duration is also 10 seconds by default and around 12 seconds when you have prolonged duration 2 equipped at the moment, and it's also very easy to use. So let me showcase it. For example, if you're just playing the monk, you will need to generate the charges. So let's imagine the bell is appearing here, you're hitting it with Killing Palm, I'm just going to hit the monster instead, and getting one power charge. After that, you're just clicking the Rend button, and here's your buff. So that's pretty much it, you don't need to do anything else, you already have a huge 13 seconds long buff, which is giving you 50% of damage, which is absolutely amazing. But that's not the end of it. There's also multiple things that we can utilize together with that. We have 2 open support slots at Killing Palm, since we are constantly calling enemies. And for Killing Palm, first off, we have a variation to get Thrill of the Kill. It gives us attacks gain damage as lightning damage for 8 seconds on calling an enemy with supported skills. Keep in mind that it goes for calling a shocked enemy with supported skills, so there might be a chance that it will not work properly if bell will not be shocked at the moment when we are calling it. But there is a big chance that it will work as well, so I'm probably going to add it to the build. However, a little further we also have an opportunity to use Blazing Critical, which is giving us 50% of damage as fire damage for 5 seconds on critically hitting with supported skills. And since all hits against our bells are crits, every Calling Strike from Killing Palm is going to guarantee the crit and guarantee the blazing critical buff for us. Before 0.5, the main technique to generate charges at boss has been using Siphoning Strike. So Siphoning Strike is just consuming shock on the boss and giving you charges for it. However, I believe that just using Killing Palm on the ball, like on the bells that are appearing around the boss, is going to be significantly more efficient. Also, since the bells, when you're calling them, are also going to deal some particular damage, and they're going to be a shockwave on top of it, and they're also appearing pretty often. Another big upside, that bells are going to appear while you're talking to the boss. And for example, when you're fighting end of act bosses, they're just appearing in the arena. So you can immediately call all 3 of the bells that appeared with Killing Palm, get 3 charges, use your Rend, get 50% bonus, call the next bells that appear in, and immediately hit the boss with Falling Thunder, which is going to lead to tremendous damage because of the huge bonuses that you stacked on top of it. I also think that if you want to generate charges even faster when you're just fighting pack of monsters, and since you already have Talisman locked in your second weapon set, you can use something like Devour. Devour is giving you pretty easy way to generate power charges, because you can get it for each enemy corpse you devoured. And since we already have a Talisman, I think it could be a very decent option. And I believe that Rend, considering it's given huge 50% of damage gained as lightning, is probably will find a place even in the endgame build, especially considering how easy it is to get Rend to work, since you just put the Talisman in the second weapon set and it's already available to you. And another cool thing that we can use, since we have those bells early on, I think is using Staggering Palm. So Staggering Palm is giving you a buff. You dash into an enemy, strike them, instantly having stunning enemies which are primed for stun. And as we remember, all our bells are already primed for stun. And after that, we're receiving a buff, which is giving us additional projectiles in the same way like charge stuff does. So right here you can see the buff. You will need to stun at least a few bells, I believe, to get a 30 seconds buff, but most of the time it's absolutely worth it, just because it's giving you a very cool effect, as you can see, when you're shooting air out of your hands. I think it might be enough to just use a basic combination with Rend and Fallen Thunder in the campaign, so Staggering Palm could be a little too much. But in case if you want bigger AoE and you just want to feel better in general, Staggering Palm is probably going to be a very solid option too. But the main idea right here is Hollow Focus is probably one of the best passives for the monk early on, because it's allowing us to constantly spam all those skills. We can get the call, we can get the bonuses, and from the generation we can also get charge stuff constantly up. So perfectly you might have even 3 buffs on top, so Rend, Staggering Palm and charge stuff if you would like to bother. But I honestly believe that using maybe only a few of those will be more than enough to literally steamroll campaign without even trying twice, because your damage is going to be absolutely insane. And considering how good Hollow Focus with all those bonuses, I believe taking it first is probably the best idea at the moment. Second, I'm probably going for Way of the Stone Fist just to improve my gloves, which is looking very decent. And after that, I believe it's going to be Runes or Hollow Resonance technique in kinda any order at the moment, because I believe that it's not really going to affect things much. And the last part of that setup that Hollow Focus just allowing us is Life Drain and Soul Drain. I believe that both are looking pretty decent for us, but especially the Life Drain. It gives us recover 12% of maximum life over 4 seconds when supported skills calls an enemy. So if you're going to add Life Drain to your Killing Palm, it's going to constantly regenerate your life, while you're calling your bells to generate charges and hit enemies with huge Fallen Thunders. I believe it's going to trivialize campaigns significantly, and it's going to be very comfortable to use. With the 2 supports, I'm probably going to go for Charge Profusion, and Thrill of the Kill is going to if it's going to work properly. And as the third, you can always get Life Drain and Blazing Criticals later on as a solid option. I think the most important technique is obviously using Rend, because 50% damage bonus is absolutely insane, and I may not even use Staggering Palm during campaign at all, because I believe it will be a little too many buttons to make the starter comfortable. So just Rend, Killing Palm, and Fallen Thunder with occasional waves in the process to just deal the basic damage. You can find more of information about the leveling process in my written guide in the description and in the pinned comments. I'm going to keep updating the guide, so make sure you're saving it and checking it from time to time for additional information. And I'm also going to post a more detailed step-by-step leveling video later on, so stay tuned. And thank you very much for watching. I'm absolutely sure that Martial Artist is going to be amazing in 0.5. See you next time, and ronarray out.